When I first started using Bland.AI, I was so excited to build our AI receptionist. She was already answering phone calls and collecting client data, like the user's names, numbers, and services. But then we hit a wall. I couldn't figure out how to actually use that data she was collecting. None of the variables that I was collecting were showing up in make.com, and I had no idea why. If you're someone like me, someone who doesn't know how to code or write in JSON, I'm about to save you a lot of time, because once I figured out how to pass those variables into make.com, it unlocked everything. From that moment, our AI receptionist was able to do everything she needed to do. She gathered the info, she booked appointments, she sent notifications, and even generated invoices. That fix changed everything. And today we're going to be going over how you can transfer your variables from Bland to make.com. All right, so first things first, we're gonna check out one of these old flows I made for an appointment setter for the niche for plumbing. First, I'm gonna show you how exactly you should configure your variables for them to work. So I made this flow before I figured out what was wrong with the system. And I learned that to collect JSON variables, you wanna write in lowercase and use underscores so that it could be read well. Here you want to write directions for the AI to extract the variables in the way you want to. And then, so let's do like 3 of these just so we can get a good idea. Question 2. Save. Question 3. Save. And just for our example, that's good enough for now. Now here we gotta look. We're actually gonna cut this a little bit short for now, just for the tutorial. So let's adjust this for now. And we're gonna add a webhook node. So the webhook is where your information is going to be passed to Bland.AI. Now here's another thing that I learned with Bland is that, let's say a caller hangs up during this phone call and the webhook wasn't fired, then the webhook's not going to send the information to make.com. So in another video, I'm going to show you how you can do post-call webhooks for the people who hang up, but you still want their information. So now we're going to create this webhook. And we're going to use post. So this is to get information. This is to send information. This is to change information. This is to place information. And this is to delete information. Get, post, patch, put, delete. Here we're going to put in our webhook. So I'm going to go into my make.com account. We're going to create a new scenario for this example. And we're going to pick up a webhook. Here we're going to click custom webhook. We're going to add a new one. I'm going to name this appointment. We're going to save it. And now this webhook, we're going to copy it. We're going to go back to Bland.AI and we're going to paste the link here. Now here's the important part. You don't really need the header, but you need to add a body. And because I don't know how to code, I'm going to pull up on ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure you can do this with the free account as well. So for now, we're going to split these screens so it's side by side. And we got to get the variables. So I might have to do this all over again because Bland doesn't save things until it's completely configured. And we have to set up a pathway. So for now, we're just going to add a pathway so that we can save. We're going to say, for now, it's going to go to question number 4, and let it save. So now we want to look at the names of the variables that we created. So here, variable 1, I'm gonna write the prompt to ChatGPT. Can you help me create a webhook body in JSON for Bland.AI to make.com? These are the variable names. The first name here is misleads. The next one is question 2. And the next one is question 3. So it's really important for you to keep the names of the variables identical. So if there's like a spelling error or anything and you request a webhook body and if just like one symbol is off, it's not going to work. So it's kind of like math. It has to be precise for you to get the results that you're looking for. Now we're going to send this in here. Here's the JSON body. Now we're going to place it into the webhook. We're going to delete these extra brackets. We don't need them. And now we're going to go back to make.com. So here it's waiting to pick up the data to see the structure so that it can pick it up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on response data and we're going to test the API. Now that the API is successfully sent, we can make an example. So here we're going to, let's say we'll go to Google Sheets. Here's a table that we're going to be sending the data from. Missed leads, question 1, question 2. Now we're going to add the Google Sheets module for the example, and we're going to add a row. Probably have to refresh it. Right here, AI appointment setter for plumbers. The table contains headers, and here's where we see the info. Misleads, question 1, question 2. Now we're going to hit save. We're just going to do the Google Sheets. The webhook response has to be written in consistent JSON. So I'm going to show you that a little bit later. But for now, we're just going to get these variables from Bland.AI to Google Sheets. So now we're going to go back to Bland. Everything is tested. Now we got to go get some data. So this is a tricky part. You can put in data within these curly brackets here, and it will send over to the webhook. But here's the catch. It's going to be formatted different than the variables you get from testing a phone call. And so using this as a test to make sure your operations work, you're going to have to reconfigure the format over and over again just to test it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now save this, and I'm going to test the pathway. When we test the pathway, it's going to be text. So it's going to be like faster. So that for this example, this is Timothy from Pulse AI Marketing. We're reaching out to local plumbers with a quick survey. Our goal is to help small businesses stay competitive by exploring AI solutions similar to those used by larger companies. See if it could benefit you. You have 5 minutes. Yes, I do. Appreciate your time. Let's get started. Oh, I'm glad I caught this. We have to run this once for us to get the data. Appreciate your time. Let's get started. Do you ever feel like you're missing out on potential customers because you're not able to respond 24/7? Yes, I do. Sometimes clients call me when I'm sleeping. Frustrating, especially when you're trying to get some rest. Sounds like you're pretty dedicated to your clients though. On a related note, how often do you find yourself spending too much time answering the same questions from potential clients, like what your services are and what your business hours? Sometimes I get fishers that want prices but don't want to commit to services. Those type of inquiries can be time consuming, don't always lead to actual business. Speaking of your website, how much traffic do you get each month? Do you feel like you're converting most people? I feel like I get a ton of traffic, but not enough leads. That could be frustrating. Lead generation, would you like to hear about how? So now let's see where our agent is at. So they're about to hit the webhook. It looks like we're missing one of the questions, but that's not a big deal. Would you like to hear more about our chatbot? Yes, of course. I don't have enough money to hire a receptionist, so that sounds useful. Okay, so we see that this timed out, so let's trigger it again. We're gonna hit send. And now we're about to hit the webhook. Now the webhook fired, we can see here on the make.com tab. So we're gonna move this over and we're gonna see what we got. So this is what Bland.AI picked up. Misleads, yes. Sometimes clients calls when I'm sleeping. Question 2, user sometimes gets fishers who want prices but don't want to commit to services. Question 3, the user is a plumber who feels like they miss out on potential customers due to limited availability, spends too much time answering repetitive questions, and has a website with high traffic but low lead conversion. They're interested in an AI chatbot to help with lead generation and conversion and have agreed to follow up with a call to discuss things further. So our variables are going through. That's always nice. And now we're going to plug in the information. So here, I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's configured the right way, and then when you test it with the variables, because you'll definitely see. So misleads, greatly labeled here. Question 2. Oh well, I guess that is question 1, and question 3. That's fine. All right. So now we have everything plugged in, and on our next test, the information is going to be sent to Google Sheets. So now let me show you what would happen. Yeah, let me show you what happens if you just plugged in the variable information to run a test. Let's just say we're gonna copy this data from here. Right. I'm gonna paste that. Paste this. And we're gonna paste that. All right, so now we're gonna run another test. And we're gonna send this API information. And this is what you'll see. You see how the value is not mapped. So you see mixed leads. Yes, you still see the curly brackets. Question 2, curly brackets. And then this is all connected as one answer. So now the Google Sheet is not going to send the right information. So we can see here that the input is empty and there's no bundle. And look, these variables are no longer usable. So that's the tricky part. If you send a test, the test isn't going to give you the results that are going to be applicable to the real world. You're going to have to test the pathway through that text response, giving it a call, sending a call, or using the web client node. We're going to save that. All right, so now we're going to test the chatbot one more time to make sure that the data is being sent right. I get those questions all the time. I would love AI solution. Yes, it is. All right, so we made it to our webhook. Webhook fired beautifully. Now let's see what make.com picked up. Yes, the user has missed leads. Yes, they get those questions all the time. Users interested in the AI solution misses leads due to unavailability, gets frequent questions from potential clients, would like to learn more about AI chatbots to help their plumbing business, and is open to scheduling a follow-up call. Now, let's check our Google Sheets. And now we could see that it has collected the information. Just a quick tip. I don't know who would want an overlapping Google Sheets, but I like to wrap it and expand these tabs a little bit. And here we go. Just change the color. There you go. We have the information being sent to the webhook. And now you can use this information to create make.com automations with your AI receptionist so that you can add some back-end work to your agents. Yay! All right, and that's how I finally got Bland.AI to pass real variables into make.com. And honestly, it unlocked everything for my AI receptionist. If you sat through this whole video, first of all, I'm giving you love for educating yourself in these new times where AI is going to be helping the working class. I genuinely hope this helped you out because I wish I had this exact tutorial when I started. It took me 4 months and a whole lot of Discord networking to figure this out. If you have any questions or if there's a specific tutorial you would like to see, drop it in the comments below. I would love to know what you need help with so that I can make more videos that actually gets you the results. And hey, if you're a business owner and these tools seem powerful to you, but you just don't have the time to build them, book a call using the link below, and I'll be happy to help you automate your workflows and save you time from headaches. I'm Sam Aiko from Pulse AI Marketing, where we turn ideas into automations. And I'll be seeing you on the next video.